In one of my recent deep dives, I just told you a story about my younger brother being gung-ho for real about trying to kill me. And I had a conversation with him after I told that story. Now, I've told that story 100 times, and he knows the story. But he reminded me of something that I'd forgotten. Why he came after me. And it seems that he had fallen down somewhere and he was in a cast. He had a cast from his ankle all the way up to his hip. And because we're 2 years apart, he's 2 years younger than I am, and we did not have a very good relationship. We had a very antagonistic relationship. And he did something to me, and I guess I didn't take it well or saw an opportunity to get over on him. And I kind of pushed his ass down the steps. I mean, I know, I'm sorry. I was sorry. Eventually. It's probably funny at the time, but it's shit that brothers, that siblings do to each other. And he still is a bit of an asshole. But I love him. And luckily, as we've gotten older, we've gotten close, and I've had an opportunity to right some of my wrongs. Hello, Governor. This is Rick Heist, Noob from the Ville, and I'm here to talk to you about Doctor Who, Season 8, Episode 5. And this episode is called Time Heist. Now, if you've been paying attention to my more recent media therapy deep dives, know that I'm not doing a long recap anymore. If you want to see the recap, go into the description and click on the link where it says episode that this analysis is based on, and you'll see the reaction. And you will see the reaction between Centel and myself. And if you pay attention to our reaction and the discussion afterwards, you'll get the gist. One thing I can say about this episode is it features the actor of the day right now, Anthony Bailey. And we have often said that any actor who is worth their salt, it is almost a rite of passage that you have to come through Doctor Who. If you're a British actor, you gotta come through Doctor Who. That's how you make your bones. Now, the interesting thing about this particular episode is that the Doctor and Clara are joined by two other people called Sabra and Sai. And they're basically kidnapped into doing this heist where they have to steal something from the most secure vault in the entire universe. The problem is they find out that the person who put them up to this job is the Doctor. There comes a part towards the end of the episode where you see that the bad guy, Calabraxos, is using a creature that has very powerful psychic abilities, and even to the point where it would drain everything that's in your brain and turn your head to mush, even like leave a huge ass dent in it. It's wild. The manager of the vault or what have you, Calabraxos figures out that they have done something that's not, the Doctor talks to them about, you need to make your wrongs right. You only have so much time on this earth, and what you have done wrong, you have an opportunity to do right. You know, the doctor's lived a long time, so he can say stuff like that. And it's not that he's seen this person's future, but he kind of knows. You live long enough, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And this person's pretty much already the villain, so when you hit your deathbed and you have that flash where you see your life flashes before your eyes, you start figuring out that you have some regrets and some things you want to get right. You know I love my quotes, and I have a couple of them for you, but I'm going to keep this short and sweet. The first one is by Jewel E. Ann, and they say, perfection wasn't strength. Righting your wrongs took more strength than anything. You were lucky to dodge the hits. Getting back up after being knocked down showed immeasurable strength and courage. The other quote, and I'm not sure who this one is by, is, your wrong may turn right to you, but your right may be wrong to somebody. You know, one way to help you learn and to grow is to admit your mistakes and take responsibility for them. In this particular episode, Clara Braxos had done a lifetime of wrong and was hiding all the secrets and other people's secrets and wrongdoings inside this vault, the strongest, most secure vault in the entire universe. The doctor couldn't figure out who hired him, even though he hired himself and Clara and Saber and Sai to get into this vault. Everything was set up to get into the place that no one could get into, because only someone as clever as the doctor could. But the question is, why? What we find out is that Clara Braxos themselves hired the doctor, and on their deathbed, then decided that they were sorry and wanted to right their wrongs. Now, it'd be real easy for us to say, too late, you're a day late and $1 short. But in reality, it's never too late to right your wrongs. It's never too late to admit that you're wrong, to take responsibility, be accountable. That second quote I gave you, your wrong may turn right for you, but your right may be wrong for somebody else. And all that means is that a lot of times you are willing to overlook what is wrong if it has a positive effect, if it has a benefit for you. But you don't realize that in it being right for you may be completely wrong for someone else. And you can hurt other people in the process. A lot of people don't care about that. The Clara Braxos waited until the end of their life. They are literally on their deathbed when they said, I'm gonna make this stuff right. And sometimes you are too late. There are people right now that are living rent-free in other people's heads because of a wrong that was not made right. Some people have died and gone on to glory, or gone to the hottest vacation in the history of vacations. And rights were not made out of wrongs. They never had a chance or never took the chance to make their crooked straight. And it's unfortunate because a lot of people are like that. When your purpose is to set your wrongs right, you have 3 options. One is confessing. Acknowledging responsibility for your actions is the first step towards making amends. The second one is restitution. Even though you made amends and you're confessing to what you did wrong, you have to restore people to whole, or as whole as you can get them. So that means to either give back or whatever you took from them, you have to be able to give that back to restore them. And sometimes you can't, but you have to make the attempt. It's not for you to tell them you can't make them whole. It's for them to tell you that you're good. And the last one is forgiveness. And that's two parts. The injured person may never forgive you. And you're going to have to be okay with that. But you can still make steps towards amends. But I said that was two part. And the second part is not only do you have to reach out to them for forgiveness, but you have to forgive yourself. As we grow, we learn, or you're supposed to anyway. And a great deal of us do not. We are the same people late in life that we were early in life, because we have not taken our environment and the people we're around into account and changed. And sometimes that becomes the easy excuse. I have several people that told me, since high school, they the same person, they didn't change. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard, because that means you didn't learn anything. You're supposed to change. The saying, if you knew better, you do better. But when you gonna know better? Because we still waiting on you to do better. This is Heist, New from the Ville. Make sure that you like, comment, share this video as much as possible. Leave me a comment. Did you know better? Did you do better? What was a time where you had to right a wrong? And if for some reason you haven't subscribed yet, hit the button, subscribe as soon as possible. Make sure that you understand it's always about this, but even more than that, it's about this.